Okay. There you go. And we're gonna go opposite side. So you're gonna lift and just put that right there.
Okay.
Right there on the AC.
Okay.
Okay, now from here, go ahead, arm out, hold position. I want you to flex and lengthen everything. So everything's stretched out, right? Hold that position, okay? Now from here, take this hand, I want you to create a radiation so you can squeeze that fist, lock your lat in place, nothing else moves here. From here, okay, I want you to go ahead and lift, it's shoulder flexion. Good, hold position right there. Good, now from there, without bending the elbow, go ahead and internally rotate the shoulder, keep going. Good, all the way around. Now give me a big circle, so you're gonna bring it into extension. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Keep rotating, hold that, squeeze the tricep, hold that position. Now back, okay, keep going. Start rotating when you need to. Good, all the way around, all the way around. Up high, reach high, reach high, reach high. Good, now bring it in front, protract as far as you can without rounding. There you go, good. All right, let's do it again. Up, reach high, reach high, reach high. Good, start rotating, internally rotate, good. All the way around, all the way around. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. Shoulder blade down and back, good. Open back up, good, good. All the way up, all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Reach now, bring it in front, protract, and relax, good. Okay.
With this, if I have to constantly correct myself to stay neutral here, does that signify a certain issue? Like if this starts to fill out like my leg did.
As far as you going this way?
Yeah, naturally wants to come out.
To come up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, one, you got a lot of muscle here, right? So that's gonna block some stuff, right?
Right.
But yeah, you wanna get to the point where you can go fully into flexion without going out, right, and abducting. So yes, you want adduction, you want flexion, right? Then from here, as we go to internally rotate, that's when you're gonna clear it, right? Because it's just naturally where your shoulder wants to go, right? So here, we're trying to get a big circle from this start. If we can get the biggest circle we can without bending the elbow, without rotating, without crunching, that's what you want to look for.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we can get as close to midline as possible, that would be ideal.
Yes, sir.
All right?
Cool.
Okay, let's do that
switch.
Okay, reach in front. There you go. Now raise up. Good. Abs tight. Roots on. Good. Now rotate. Good. Keep going. Big circle now. Good. 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 All the way. All the way. All the way. More. There it is. There it is. Keep going. Good. Hold position. Back around. Good. Yep. Let's feel a little bit tighter. Okay. Reach in front. Protract. Good. Now back up. Full. All the way. All the way. Hold right there. Now start to internally rotate. Yep. Now bring it behind you. Bring it behind you. Big circle. Big circle. Don't hit me. Lock your abs down. Good. There it is. Good. All the way. Hold. Good. Go again. Round. Tight, tight, tight. Good. Don't hit me. Good. All the way up. All the way up. All the way up. Good. Reach in front. Good. Perfect. Okay. Awesome. Good. So another major compensator is going to be, you getting in thoracic.
Interesting. So
draw the rib cage down. Like really, you want to stack. So just stack the thorax, pelvis, making sure you're not in full extension. For you, primarily because your build, you got the anterior pelvic tilt, you're in a constant state of inhalation, where we want to work on getting into exhalation. So your ribs aren't flared up. So try to draw down, right? Not so much to where you're kyphotic, but you're just stacked, right? As opposed to being an open scissor, right?
Okay.
And that's good when you do powerlifting, when you do anything that's gonna make you go into thoracic extension, like to get into like a bench press or something like that. You want to offset that primarily with something that's going to be more of anterior compression, because you're primarily, if you want to set up for a bench, you want that arch, right? You want to get as much cover up distance so that it's less distance to travel. But then when we go to do our other work, you want to draw that down, maybe go into something like a hook lying position so that you can work on the opposite side of that. Whereas now, instead of being posteriorly compressed, we can go anteriorly compressed and balance out the body. Plus, you're going to work deeper ranges as opposed to being totally extended. So it's really good for bodybuilding too, because you'll get more range of motion.
Interesting.
You know? Yeah. I learned that though from from a couple guys who just got beat up over the years, man. Just powerlifting for years, you know, and shoulders and things like that. It helped their shoulders, and it helped their breathing patterns.
Okay.
Because we're always in extension, we're always here. It's very hard for you to breathe, right? Because you're locked out.
Yeah.
And if you look at long distance runners, they're very straight up and down. Most of them sometimes have a posterior pelvic tilt, and they're locked in place. That's beneficial for them as they run. They may not be a great position for them to be in to actually lift, but you mold yourself to the competition that you do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But in the case of just balancing out the body and being healthy, you want to offset.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
whenever I do like a bench competition style, or even with the floor press, if I'm actually trying to like just not give a fuck about, you know, flatten out my body, like if I'm putting my feet down and just trying to get max reps or max weight, I'll get an arch, right? But if I'm looking to get that range of motion and just work the movement, I'll go flat or I'll put my feet up on a box. Same thing with the bench or incline press, hammer press, whatever. I'll put my feet hook lying on a box, right? So I can flatten out my body completely. And I'll do that with the athletes too as well, because our goal isn't to bench press. Our goal is to work the pressing motion as a fundamental pattern, but it's more so to allow them to be neutral, right? Because if they're neutral, they can breathe better. If they can breathe better, they have more energy output, and then they're able to run through the fight.
Is that flat including some retraction just to get everything locked in up here, but not like an excessive arch?
I'm really more focused on depression as opposed to full retraction. Right? Because a lot of those guys, when I say retraction, they're just gonna elevate. So it's more about just pulling the shoulders back into the back pocket. But I don't want a full-on arch, right? And because of, you know, just being in combat sports, like a lot of guys lack that scapular mobility, that T-spine mobility. So until they can get that ability to retract and depress and move without moving everything else, right, and stack their body, I'm gonna definitely just keep them in a flat plane. Right? I'm just gonna make sure that when they go into that range, they don't dip forward.
I see.
You see what I mean? So I'll stop them at a position. Like I'm not gonna sacrifice technique and positioning for range of motion. You see what I'm saying? What I wanna do is I wanna give them the best possible, I wanna put them in the best possible position to get the adaptation. Right? So that's with anything. Even if they can't deadlift off the ground, I'll still pull them off pins or, you know, whatever we need to do. Elevate the bar, we have the wagon wheels there, you know, because we're getting a pull motion, we're getting a deadlift or hinge motion. It may not be the optimal range that we want, but we'll work into that through the mobility work. But in order to get a stimulus, let's say we want to get stronger, we got to put them in the right positions to do so. And we got to give them the position that's necessary to not put them at risk of injury. So you can do anything. Like when we get closer to the fights, I'll put them at like pin level, like knee level on a pull, and they'll pull into pins. So nothing, less risk of injury, nothing goes wrong, right? But they're still getting the adaptation of force production. See what I'm saying? And then we'll contrast that with some type of jump, right? Because it's still in a hinge position, you're still working that range of motion, right? Then eventually, when they have that ability, like a guy like Tyler Ray, the kid that you saw jumping in here, like a kid's a specimen. I could do whatever the fuck I want with him. You know what I mean? But when they first come to me and they're all beat up, and like I had Andre Arlovsky, bro. Like you know who he is. He's 43 years old. He's been fighting since I was born. You know what I mean? So like I have to really figure out what to do. I had to really figure out what I could do with him in order for us to get him ready for a fight. You know, and then also keep him healthy and work on mobility and so on and so forth. But I don't have so much time, especially in camp. But you're great at that. Like you know where the body needs to be. You know what you need to do. And I've seen some stuff with a couple of the guys, you know, with combat sport athletes, with powerlifters, with bodybuilders. You know, we're all beat up because we're extremists, we're radicals, right? And so with radicals, you got to kind of keep them in check. And so the best thing you could do is get them out of pain. So that's why like guys like Greg and like all the stuff that we have for recovery is hands down the best thing that we could do. I'm here to just make sure that when you go and you're ready to go, you go all out in a safe manner. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, especially in combat sports, bro, it ain't about in here. It's about what you do on the cage, on the mats, you know. With powerlifters, strongmen, you still got to get them to the meet. You know, they still have to perform when the real time counts, you know. So I don't really, like, even with, you know, I follow West Side system, but I'm not West Side. Like, and Louis was my mentor, and we had extensive talks about this. For combat sport athletes, like, it's just get them to the fight, you know, get them strong, get them prepared, but get them to the fight. With powerlifters, I feel the same way, right? Because I've been beat up so many times where I didn't even make it to the meet.
Yeah.
You know, I would get thrashed and be like, all right, I peaked 2 weeks early, and now I'm fucked. You know, missing all 3 lifts. I'm like, what happened? Well, I killed myself. You know, going 90+% trying to do 5x5s.
Yeah.
You know, that was Chris Duffy, by the way. Oh, all right, come on over.